No, talent acquisition is always going to be one of the three parts that make a program what it is. So we're very aggressive, but we're aggressive when we identify something that we see really fits us at Oregon, what we want to be and what we want to become. So, but part of being aggressive is being very real. We are very real, very genuine when we attack this process. But when we see something that we feel needs to be at Oregon, we're gonna get after it. We're gonna be aggressive.
I know yesterday you added the commitment, Brian Addison. I think he's been cleared, so I can ask. But what do you see from him, and kind of how excited was it to add someone of his caliber to the process?
Extremely exciting. Really something, a tremendous blessing. He is an exceptional athlete, 6'5", just about, 180 plus pounds. He's played both ways. He's got special teams value. He is intelligent. He is tough. He's athletic. Great balance and body control. Explosive. Incredible ball skills. So he can help us on both sides of the ball. It's a position where we need help on both sides of the ball. So we'll figure that out here in the next couple of days or so. But we're blessed to have him. We're excited to have him. And I know that he's got a lot of teammates and friends on the football team already. So I think that probably played a major role in him ending up at Oregon, and we're thrilled to have him.
So there's no position set right now?
Not right now. As soon as in the next couple of days we'll kind of settle in, because for him the best thing we could do is get him to a position, settle him in, and let him attack it. If we start bouncing a guy around that hasn't been here, for no more than a couple of days, it's unfair to him. So we'll settle him into something and we'll roll.
In your opinion, is there too early of a time to offer a kid, or too many offers to send out in one class? And how do you view balancing both of those elements?
I wouldn't put a limit on talent as it relates to your program. If you identify something that you really and truly feel is good for your program and could help you, I think you go for it. I think the question is, how young should a guy be allowed to be offered, right? I saw a YouTube video yesterday of, I think he's like 8 years old, playing one of those sports. I think it was rugby or whatnot. If there's a better rugby player at that age around the country, I'd be shocked. But are we going to offer him? No. We'd rather see him get to high school first. But I think once a guy gets to high school in his first couple of years, you have a pretty good idea of what he can be. Even more important, you want to find out what is his makeup. What type of competitive character does he have? What type of human being is he? Does he do the right things? Does he have the right DNA? And all those things that we take a deep dive into when investigating and looking into players that we want to sign.
And how much did you get of your recruiting prowess from Nick Saban when you had the chance to work with him? How much of what you use at Oregon now is built from Alabama? Like what you're talking about?
I think there's always going to be that influence. I think when you go there, you essentially kind of, I know I've used it before, I don't mean to sound like a cliche, you essentially get your PhD in certain parts of your coaching regimen and what structure or whatnot. But, recruiting is a lifeline of every program. And it has to be addressed every single day. You cannot, I think a lot of times programs are in year 2 and year 3 and you realize, well, we got to fix this and that. Well, it's too late, because what you're recruiting now is going to help you in those 2 or 3 years down the line. So there's an influence there. There's an influence from Jimmy Johnson and Larry Coker in our time, and you name it. I just studied it a lot and have learned how important it is, and have studied just about every program in the country and how they do it, what they do, why they do it that way, and have tailored this to fit us. And credit to our staff. I can't say enough about Joe Salavea and Keith Hayward, Marcus Arroyo, Mastro, all these guys. They get after it. They get after it, and they're genuine. They don't try to put on a show and whatnot, and hopefully it'll result in some pretty good recruiting for us.
You've been around Justin for a while now. How has he changed as a leader?
Much more vocal. I think he's becoming a field general. I think he was a quarterback last year. Now he's becoming a field general. That guy, he understands how to flip protections. He understands, well, we're getting a 7-man rush here. They're going to play cover 0. I got to keep 7 guys in to protect, how to call in a tight end, how to change a running back's alignment to get him in a protection opportunity. He understands the run game like a coordinator does, meaning he could get us into advantage runs when we're not in one, or when we're facing pressure and potentially a negative play. And in my opinion, that's the biggest step as a quarterback, when he can actually look at it like an offensive line coach can and understand, where can we get hit, where can we get hurt, and how can we make this an advantage play for us. And he's got a great, he's not a sequential guy. He's a spatial, thinker. So he could see it. He could see the whole field and recognize exactly where it's being disguised, where the pressure's coming from, where the rotation's going to be, just by seeing leverage and whatnot. He's a special guy that is driven and works at it, and he likes getting pushed. I mean, he allows us to push him and drive him, and he's been a tremendous blessing.
It's pretty apparent seeing him walk around that over the last year he's gotten bigger. I mean, his body's transformed.
Oh yeah.
What does that do?
How about the hair? Did you see the hair? What about that? I mean, I was afraid I was going to kidnap him out here in Hollywood and make him like an actor or something, but he's transformed his body. He's committed to being excellent in everything he does. Same thing with Jalen. So I've spoken about our strength and conditioning department a lot because I think it warrants that, the way that they've brought this culture to our program, because it is. And it's not just how he looks, it's the mindset that comes with it, the confidence that comes with it, the ability to, I don't know, just create a galvanizing effect with the guys in that locker room, because you know that you're preparing and that you're holding each other accountable, and he's a big part of that as well. And, he's got to be durable. He knows that. He's really prepared himself to be able to take on, not that we're a quarterback running operation, but so, if he does have to carry the ball, that, if he doesn't slide, which we'd like to talk about sliding eventually, but that he's able to withstand some of the punishment that comes with that.
You know what concerns going into fall camp?
Concerns?
Biggest concerns?
It's hard to, I guess, I'm not wired that way in terms of like looking at someone as a concern. I think every team has its so-called warts, right? Everybody has its imperfections and its things to work on. I feel that we have more positives and things that we have to remedy. So to me, it's the concern is I wish we had more practice time. That's the only thing. We have our 29 days. We're going to use them wisely. It's a new collegiate rule that you have to start 29 days out, and we want to make sure that we use them to maximize productivity as it relates to our season and our players.
How do you think the new redshirt rule impacts everything for you guys? It seems like kind of a game changer.
It is a game changer. We love it, but at the same time, we don't want to let it affect the dynamic of our football team. We don't want playing time to be something, hey, you can redshirt, let's just play you. I think that would destroy your locker room. I think playing time is still going to be something that is earned, rightfully so. But this redshirt rule allows for so many things. And the one that really sticks out to me as the season goes on, guys develop. I mean, football, I know everybody wants to play as a freshman, but football is still a developmental game, the most developmental game that there is. So as guys develop, or guys down the line get injured, and guys have developed to play and be good enough to play, now those opportunities are used. They're taken advantage of without costing that young man a full year if he doesn't play more than 4 games. So we've been pushing for it forever. It's genius in my opinion to be able to do that. Now it does create a roster management issue, because now your roster contains guys that maybe you plan on there being 4 years. Now they're there for 5 years. So it's our version of the salary cap. The NFL has a salary cap. We have the 85 plus the 25 initials, right? That's inclusive in that 85. So you have to do a much better job from a roster management standpoint.
Your 2019 recruiting class has like 9 kids from Southern California or something. So what is it about the Southern California area that's really important to you guys?
Well, unbelievable football, unbelievable coaching, tremendous commitment to the game itself. I mean, you see that. If you get online, you see all summer long there's some type of activity or event, 7-on-7 competition. I see events over on the beach, on the shore, tug of wars, obstacle courses. Football is very important out here, and we want to make a tremendous investment in not only in California and Southern Cal, but in the West Coast completely. So. We love it. We love the players from here. We want to make sure that we litter our roster with players from Southern Cal.
You won as a player at Miami, and you've seen it at Alabama. Can you tell a guy what it takes to win, or do you have to show him, or how do you do that?
I think that a good chunk of it has to be in him. There's got to be a certain level of DNA. There's got to be a drive. There's got to be a self-motivating type X factor inside for it to be the level that we want it to be. Can guys get better? Absolutely. You can make everyone better, and that's the intention. But we would be hurting ourselves if we weren't recruiting guys that already didn't have that as part of their makeup. So, yeah, we're recruiting guys that this means the world to. And when I say that, I mean the academic side as well. Because to me, like, the best part about Justin is the fact that he's an academic All-American. Okay, that guy does it on both sides and takes it to a whole new level. And it changes the priority, mindset of your team when they see guys like that have success. So, and I know that's a long answer to what you were asking, but you gotta find the guys that do have it and want it.
Speaking of recruitment, how have you been able to generate the level of excitement? Typically, a team 11, 14 over the last few years, first-year head coach, isn't something that maybe lights a fire the way that you guys have been able to over the last couple of years. How is it personnel? Is it the school selling itself? What is it that's giving you guys the ability to like bring energy to that board?
Well, the energy is awesome, but I mean, let's call it what it is. Oregon's an awesome place. And when I was down in Miami, I knew Oregon was an awesome place. And when I was at Alabama, I knew Oregon was an awesome place. And I think when you combine that with the fact that we have high energy, relentless, tireless workers as coaches that are, most importantly, they're very real. They're very real, very genuine, no head faking, no nonsense. And the fact that you look at the level of expertise of the guys that we've put on our staff, if I'm a student athlete and I'm looking for a place to go that's committed to me, that has the ability to help take me to the next level, it's hard to beat. So we don't negative recruit. We don't get involved in any of that stuff. We just work. And I think our guys have an understanding that working hard is probably not good enough, that we have to work relentlessly to make it work.
Do you have updates on Logan Bathke, Malik Lovett, and Jalen Hall?
Logan Bathke is he's gone to medical. Okay, he had a significant amount of injuries, and look, he's still a member of our football team. He's going to be involved with us the entire time. He's going to help as a student worker coach, I think, the way it's termed or whatnot. He's an exceptional young man, and again, we obviously don't want to see a young man's career cut a little bit short, but it is from a football standpoint, academically, and part of the team. He'll continue to be that. Jalen Hall, I don't have an update on, but you have, again, when we get a true update, we'll get that to you. I know it's been a little while, but we'll get you an update as soon as we get that. And there was another one you had asked about?
Malik Lovett.
Malik Lovett will be a grad transfer. Malik Lovett has the opportunity to pursue a diploma, a grad diploma, in something that he really wants to do. So he will, again, a great young man and someone that we are helping and want to make sure he does well, but he will not be a member of the 2018 team. Mastro's awesome. We go to Mastro's Steakhouse last night. That was pretty awesome too. But Jim Mastro is exceptional teacher. That's what hit me first, right between the eyes when he came in and interviewed at the University of Oregon, is his ability to teach conceptually, his ability to push and demand, all right, to kind of put things in perspective for our players and get them to understand what we're doing, how we're doing it, and why we're doing it that way. He is an exceptional coach, exceptional teacher, exceptional leader, and brings some ideas to the table that are a little bit foreign to what we've done at Oregon, even what we did at Alabama and what Marcus did at Oklahoma State. So I think the wrinkles that he's going to bring into our offense are really going to help us.
What do you make of the fact that nearly half of this conference has first-year head coaches coming into their teams? What is that going to do to the competitive environment in the Pac-12, do you think?
It's super competitive. I think, football's cyclical. I think sometimes conferences run into that where you have, a good number of coaches that are new in the conference. And, I look at the level and their pedigree and where they've been, what they've done. You're looking at competitive guys that know how to bring it and that want to establish championship programs. So we look forward to that challenge.
Coach, I know you had been a head coach before. You got to Alabama, and I was a fan of Florida International. I remember.
Sure, thank you.
But so many coaches have moved on from Coach Saban to become head coaches. What is it that he does that gets you guys prepared, you think, better? And did you, being a head coach before, what did you learn more being on the staff for 4 years?
Sure. Well, he's been around 42 years. I think 43 years now. So, and he's bounced around too. He had his hiccups early in his career, and he's just established an organization with a foundation and the resources, and I would say kind of like a flow chart of how it all works and ties in together. And I think when you have an opportunity to be a part of that culture and that organization, you learn the ins and outs of everything. And as the assistant head coach, the responsibilities that came with that allowed me to take a really deep dive into every aspect of how that program is run. And it's been extremely beneficial and helpful. And just, after a couple of years, you really feel like like you could finish each sentence. You know, like you could really run it and manage it. So a tremendous blessing, which has created a great opportunity.
How do you think Coach Pruitt's going to handle Tennessee?
I think he'll do a great job. Jeremy's a good friend and a tremendous professional, and really enjoyed working with him.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
You mentioned the conference being a little cyclical. Certainly a lot of emphasis on that bowl record. How far away from the conference is the conference, and your team in particular, from kind of getting back to that national prominence?
I think this is a good year. I think this is a good year to put us back and trend upwards like the conference has done for so many years. Obviously, we didn't do a good job last year when it came to the bowl season or whatnot. And this season has nothing but opportunity in front of it, and we just got to go and do it. You know, there's no way to sugarcoat it and try to dance around that. There's not. We just got to go get it done.
Are there inherent disadvantages being out here versus maybe being in the SEC or ACC?
I don't think so. I think, you know, sometimes you might not get the exact same exposure, but we need to create our opportunities for exposure and take full advantage of them. And we need to be proud, and rightfully so, of our conference, the prominent coaching staffs that we have, the prominent team players that are up for so many postseason awards. I mean, we're really at a very special place during a very special time. And I think everyone is enthused and aggressively will pursue, you know, these opportunities that we have.